Right, it is noon, well, a couple minutes after. I was late today. April 21st, call this meeting to order. Commissioner Holbrook, please open us with prayer.
Yes, sir. Heavenly Father, God, we gather today for this meeting of the Fiscal Court, and we thank you for the blessings of a new season and the opportunity to serve this community. We ask for your wisdom and guidance in every matter before us today. Help us work together with honesty and respect and a sincere desire to do what's best for the people of Boyd County. So bless our leaders, our employees, our first responders, our local educators, and all the families throughout this community that call it home. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Let's stand and salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Mike. Clerk, can you please call roll?
Judge Cheney,
Here.
Commissioner Salisbury,
Here.
Commissioner Holbrook,
Here.
Commissioner Stapleton.
Here.
Approval of minutes for March meeting. Get a motion and a second.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Clerk, will you please call roll?
Commissioner Stapleton,
Yes.
Commissioner Holbrook,
Yes.
Commissioner Salisbury.
Yes.
Judge Cheney.
Yes. Next, we'll move to the finance section. Approval of submitted bills and transfers. Can I get a motion and a second?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Clerk, will you please call roll?
Commissioner Stapleton,
Yes.
Commissioner Holbrook,
Yes.
Commissioner Salisbury.
Yes.
Judge Cheney.
Yes. Let's move to the second reading of the budget amendment. Missy, we talked about this?
This is just the second reading of the March budget amendment we came to you with. It was $4,594,275. We just asked for you to move the approval of the second reading.
Get a motion and a second.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Clerk, will you please call roll?
Commissioner Stapleton,
Yes.
Commissioner Holbrook.
Yes.
Commissioner Salisbury.
Yes.
Judge Cheney.
Yes. Next, we'll move to line of credit. I think we talked about this in the last court meeting. Y'all allowed me to pursue this. I think everybody in the room has heard me talk about House Bill 557. I've tried to forget the number on it, to be honest with you. It did not pass. That was where inmates that were listed as county inmates in our jail, but were awaiting trial for a felony offense, which would make them a state inmate. The state was going to reimburse that at the $66 a day or $63 a day rate, which they should do because they belong to the state, right? Anyway, they didn't pass. I try not to think about it anymore. That was about 5.1 to 5.4 million dollars a year that would have put back in our budget. Told you all we spend more money on those who break the law than those that abide by it. That's an issue, but it's not just a Boyd County issue. It is a statewide issue. This is a problem in a lot of counties. It's disheartening, and hats off to our local state reps and state senator, Robin Webb, and tell me if I forget anybody, Representative Sharp and Representative Flannery and Thompson. They all co-sponsored this bill. They fully supported this bill. The state has a funding deficit, I'm sure, budget deficit. It's just frustrating because they're able to pass it on to the counties. You know, four guys are elected to operate and run the fiscal stability of this county, and that's what we try and do. When we have budget increases from $3.5 million to over $7 million in 6 years for one department that is completely outside of our control, it's very disheartening. So we will continue to pay for state inmates, essentially. We will continue to pay for them. Very unfortunate. But I say that to tell you that, counties have just a few ways to increase revenue. Right? We can raise taxes. which we haven't done in 8 years. Matter of fact, we spent 7 years cutting our property tax rate and 1 year taking the same rate. And we got occupation tax, which is a definition of taxation without representation, but it's in place, and that's what we have. We're not allowed to go outside the box. Like, for instance, I ask about an earnings tax, like on gambling. No, not allowed to do that, state law. Or a local sales tax to replace occupation tax. That would at least allow the people that live here, or in Greenup, or Carter, an option of where their tax dollars go, right? They can spend their money at home and it go there or wherever. No, they got to change the Constitution for that. So we're very limited on what we can and can't do. So we're just going to get, like I said in January, we're going to get lean, we're going to get mean, we're going to get aggressive. We're going to cut government waste where we can. And we're going to make some big changes. I think last month we talked about $325,000 in savings, and by July 1 we'll be sitting right at $1.1 million in operational savings that we're going to be able to make right here in Boyd County with your tax money. So we're very excited about that, and that does not, it's not laying people off, but it's just getting very efficient, getting streamlined. So we're going to make it. We're going to be all right. There's going to be some changes y'all are going to see. There are going to be some things changing the way that we operate, and it'll all be fine. I say all that to get back to this line of credit. I think there's a lot of people that have heard me talk about always trying to be proactive instead of reactive in all situations, whether they're good, bad, or indifferent. We were able to do that with the FEMA line of credit, which allows us to immediately go in and start fixing slips and damages that we have from storms instead of waiting on state and federal reimbursement for 18 months. We're able to get in there and make it happen now, right? So what this line of credit will be for is it's a operational line of credit due to increased budgetary items that are outside our fiscal court control, right? So these are factors that we cannot control. We have, again, a 206-bed facility at our jail, and current inmates today is 284 inmates, right? So we have to, what do we budget for? You want to budget for 206 every year? Well, we can't do that. We can budget for 250, probably not enough. Budget for 280, maybe if you're lucky. By the way, state facilities, they're not allowed to be overpopulated. If they hit their populated number, whatever it may be, then the next one they send them to a county jail somewhere, right? We just fill them up, but it's okay. But then they can come in here once a quarter and write us up for being overpopulated. I don't want to go down that path. So what this line of credit is just being proactive to, instead of reactive to the situations that I strongly feel is outside of our control. And as always, I encourage every single person in here to come get a copy of your budget, to come get a copy of the expenses of where we're at in the budget for this fiscal year. You need to know. You need to be involved. You need to be checking over this and making sure, well, why are they saying they're taking this line of credit when this line item's 172% expended? Come get a copy of it. Take a look at it. I'd love to talk about it. I'd love nothing more than to talk about that. So what we're requesting is it's be a temporary line of credit. The term would be until June 30th of 2026 because the new budget, new fiscal year starts July 1, and we'll have to re-up this at that time. The amount's $4 million. The rate is 5.5%, which is 1.25% below prime. So we've done good there. No fees. And this is with Members Choice Credit Union. This is a good thing. Now, what I'm not telling you is I'm going to come in here June 30th to go do this thing and be like, hey, we're maxed out at $4 million on that line of credit. It's not what I'm doing. This is a just in case, right? Doesn't mean we have to use it. It's just like a credit card. Tell my wife that all the time. You don't have to use it. That's not what this is for, right? So this is a just in case thing. I'm going to regret that comment later. I'm sitting here thinking about it. Probably shouldn't have said that, right?
I've already texted her.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm going to regret that one. Anyway, that's what this is. That's what this is for. And I hope I explained that well enough. If you have questions, let me know, and we can go from there. So I get a motion and a second for this line of credit.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Clerk, will you please call roll?
Commissioner Stapleton?
Yes.
Commissioner Holbrook?
Yes.
Commissioner Salisbury?
Yes.
Judge Cheney?
Yes. Right. Forgot what I was doing here. I'm worried. A little scared now. General section, proclamation for Arbor Day. Commissioner Holbrook.
Moving on to something more exciting. All right. Proclamation for Arbor Day. Whereas the Commonwealth is graced with diverse forests that extend from the hardwood forests of the east to the cypress sloes of the west, whereas trees are a sustainable resource providing significant environmental, economic, social, and human health benefits to Kentuckians. And whereas over 1/3 of Kentuckians live in a community actively managing their urban forests, spending over $12.4 million on this asset. And whereas Kentucky forests produce products are a $19 billion green industry employing over 59,000 people. And whereas trees enhance our air quality, purify our water resources, protect our soil, supply a source of renewable energy, and provide valuable wildlife habitat. And whereas forests improve our health and offer a place of recreation and solace. And whereas trees and healthy forests enhance the quality of our life for all Kentuckians, now therefore, Judge Executive Eric Cheney proclaimed that April the 3rd, just a little bit ago, was designated as Arbor Day in the state of Kentucky. Urges all citizens across this great Commonwealth to participate and observe by planting a tree. Still have time this month to do that. That is a reward for the future generations for a more beautiful Kentucky. So happy Arbor Day. Hope you're celebrating accordingly.
Thank you very much. So we don't need to do anything there.
Just plant a tree.
Next, we'll move to Bourbon Estates Road discussion. This will be like any other road. We're going to assign viewers to that. This is a new subdivision being built in Boyd County, which is good, right? So I think the road has been, I think the road is in and the water and sewer is in, and I think they're selling lots. So this is something that we want to look at, try and get on top of if we can. So I need to assign 2 viewers, right? And they can't be who? Okay. But who was it last time? Missy? Oh, yeah, okay.
Hey, guys.
We'll assign Larry Barker and Misty Fields to be the road viewers here.
Has this road been blacktopped yet?
This road has not been blacktopped yet.
Okay. Are they planning on blacktopping it?
Yes. We're gonna go look at it and see, we're gonna see if it meets the county specs before it's blacktop.
Before
Yeah.
they blacktop it? Okay.
Yeah, and it's actually smart, right? Because we've had this happen too. You lay blacktop down on a road, especially in subdivision, and you're getting ready to build 15 or 20 houses. Well, as soon as you do that, you're going to be re-blacktopping the road, right? So let's try and get all the work done before the road's blacktop. We lay it, it's good for 20 years, we go from there.
Gotcha.
Do we need to vote on that?
No, we just need to sign it.
Some viewers, we're good. Okay. Okay. All right. So next court meeting, we'll have that report, and we'll go from there. Transparency Free Dump Day, May 30th. Write that down. May 30th. And while we're talking about Dump Day, I'll go ahead and talk about the dump program. Truck's fixed, right? Okay, so we're good. So I'm gonna get with Zach sometime this week. We're gonna go out and shoot a video, kind of explain how the program works, what it's for, and what it's not for. That part's very important, right? Like daily trash, don't bring it. And speaking of daily trash, I just have to say this: if you got household trash, please stop putting it in the parks. Some of the parks and community center dumpsters. We would greatly appreciate that. Matter of fact, let's get some cameras on those dumpsters because I don't think all the taxpayers in Boyd County really want to pay for somebody else to take their household trash and put it in there. So that really bothers me. Let's not do that anymore, please. Anyway, dumpster program's ready to go, truck's fixed, dialed in, dumpsters are there. We're ready. So I'll get a video put out, and we'll get that put out this weekend, and we'll go from there. Excited about that. It's going to be a good program. All right. Community comment.
Sir,
Can you come up here to the microphone, please?
Thank you.
I'm John Sammons, and I'd like to talk to you all about Deer Park.
Yes, sir.
And I took pictures. Eric and my grandson sent them to you.
Yep, I've got them.
I talked to David Salisbury at church breakfast.
Yes,
And
sir.
I've talked to Randy on the phone.
Sweet, I'm out.
The folks out Deer Park, all they're asking for is gravel. So that's what I'm here to say.
So I agree. So a couple things on this road. This is and I'm trying to find that real quick because this road has an interesting history, and I'm trying to find this. There was I will find it. There was a fiscal court meeting
Is it Deer Run?
way back in the day, and this road had an asterisk beside it.
Would you like for me to update you on it? Because it happened when I was in office the last time.
That would be fantastic.
Deer Park was, it's a road, I'm not sure where it comes off of. What's the road it comes off of, Davey? We declared it emergency to be able to take a grader in there and pour gravel on it the last time. There was a gentleman that lived, this is the story I told you about the reason why we had to come in and do it this way. There was a gentleman on top of the hill that had passed away, laid there for some days because we couldn't even get an emergency vehicle in to get him out. And so we took it at that point to upgrade the road, and we tried to take the road into the system, but when we tried, there was a property owner that didn't want it because the encroachment came too far on his property, because we were going to try to take it into the system so we could gravel it, because it's a private road right now, and it belongs to the homeowners on each side of the road going all the way around. The last meeting, we talked about this. I don't remember exactly which one it was, but we were looking at other ways to access that road. You know, some people's talked about it and things, and that's the last time we left. It was being able to bring it from a different direction, and that's basically where we're at with it right now. If we did anything to the road right now, Eric would have to declare it an emergency, which, to be honest with you, there's
Indeed.
not,
Right?
yeah, and there's not really a need for an emergency because
No, I'd have to declare a county emergency.
Exactly.
But as far as the road goes, and this is what I told your grandson, I talked to him. We did have the road foreman go up and take a look at it because we was going to hit it with a grader. We was going to knock it down. The problem is the water line's right in the middle of it, and it's exposed
Yes.
in a lot of places. So I remember when they called me, we couldn't get a grader on it to be able to do that. I mean, what's right's right. We need to, and we've talked about this for 8 years, and I know it's been talked about for at least 20.
at least 20.
We need to find a way, and we've looked at an alternate route in, and I think, did we explore that?
There was a gentleman that you knew that lived on the backside.
Yeah.
That we were going to try to bring it in that way, and I forget what the guy's name was.
Is
but-
there any way we can shape it up or do anything to the entrance off of it or anything?
I don't think so.
That's the Pigeon Roost right there.
The hill's what's bad, and a lot of it's rock, so, you know, whatever you put on, it's not gonna stay there. I mean, I had the little Ranger in four-wheel drive, and it's all I can do to get around, to get up it.
Yeah.
See this road right here?
I wish I could find that.
This road right here, but that's just a steep drop off to get down.
We need to go back and we need to find where we was talking about possibly looking at putting in an additional entrance into Deer Park.
That's a hillside.
I think it was coming in off the backside.
It was coming off
It's
Pigeon
up and
Roost.
around, off Pigeon Roost.
Yeah.
And we need to look at that and see what that's gonna cost us to do it, or would cost to possibly get that done.
That's actually good land right there.
And then we'll try and shape up as much as possible. My issue is the water line.
Well, can I show you the map that I got? And
Yeah,
there's
absolutely.
another way to do this.
Yeah.
We want to see it.
You probably can't tie into that, can you?
If it's on Wi-Fi, I might be able to.
Now, when I talked to David, and the people that signed that easement, And you said there's one that didn't.
One that did at the very bottom, I think it's the third.
Talk to everybody out there. And the only one that we can figure out, and they're saying I didn't, they're not gonna
Right.
get to it, is the man in jail that,
Yeah.
he
Okay.
went around two times.
Yeah.
But everybody else said they did. So can we?
We could
give
do that
them,
again.
Paper and let everybody sign
See,
it.
see, what they did was you had to take the property owners from both sides of the road, so they can basically deed the easement back to the county to where we can, and he would, our county surveyor would have to, do survey and everything to where we can bring it back into the road system, bring it into the road system.
Okay, can we take this?
Hey, we need a copy of this. This is the original plat.
Make me a copy of this. No?
I don't think you can get one. You have to take it out to an office supply to get it
I
done.
think he can do it.
Now, when you come off the Long Branch,
Kevin might be able to do it. Kevin might have it, actually.
Right here.
yes,
Yeah,
and you turn up
Right
Deer
here.
Park,
Yeah.
and you come to the curve here,
right here.
and now this is sunset or sunrise.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is the bad part of the road. This is where the water
That's the
pipes
hill.
in. Okay, at the bottom of the curve, this Pine Road right here is undeveloped. And it's a lot flatter road than
And that
this hill.
hillside is.
Okay, now all these check marks is my property. But I own the majority of the right of way on Pine Road, and you're welcome to it.
Yeah, but we gotta come in from here, wouldn't we?
Okay, now everybody that's on the bottom of Deer Park
Right here.
has signed that easement for Bud Stevens years ago.
Well, what I'm saying was, I wanna say it was the third guy that kept coming off that property. That's what I remember. Shannon Vanderpool was the one who pulled these, there's a piece of paper that we have to fill out, that he went in and got all the signatures of what we was gonna do.
From that time, this property, a lot of it sold.
Yeah,
And Richard Keelan owns most of that.
down here at the bottom.
Yeah, and he's willing. Now, at the curve, and that's 9, 10, 11, is the man in jail.
Yeah, I don't think that was, it might have been, I can't remember, but.
Let's see if we can't get a
Davey.
copy of this and then give
Davey.
the county surveyor to take a look
Do
at
you
it.
have any of
for
that
sure.
paperwork where Vanderpool did that long ago? I'm sure we don't. Yeah. Remember when Vanderpool went out there and got the signatures? I'm sure we don't have any of that, do we? Because there was one guy that did not sign it. That's what kept the whole shooting match from being done, so,
If somebody would come out there with me, we'll walk this road.
yeah. I thought Joe Sayers lived like right here.
He's down here at the
Is he
bottom.
down here?
About
How much
13.
of this road's still passable, if any?
Well, now, there's trees across it.
Yeah.
Because that's
Fell
where they,
across it,
but I've not got over and cleaned them up. But like
so
I
they
said,
just fell across the road.
yeah, it just failed. It's, but
Says-
this road is, the only hill part would be from the curve up to about that line going to your left there.
This one?
Yeah, and the rest of it's pretty flat. And then when you get right here, it's just a slight grade. It's not a steep hill like this right here.
I was like, this is, because that guy that passed away, I think he lived like here somewhere. Is he way over here? I didn't know he was on this way. I
So
thought
this
he was.
road goes all the
There it
way
is.
across and comes back out.
Yeah.
Now, what's this road right here?
Well, now, when you get to the top of the hill,
Yeah,
and this is all map road,
yeah,
I'm the only one on the left.
okay,
There's nobody out here.
yeah,
And
okay.
they call that north, but it's actually south. And when you get to the top and you turn here, like I say, I went all the way out, and you got Irene Childers and several more families on these lots here.
So let's do this. We'll get with the surveyor after this meeting, and we'll see if we can't get a copy of this, and then we'll get with the road foreman surveyor and us, and we'll go out and we'll take a look at this.
Okay.
I'm
See what we can
welcome
do.
to walk with you.
That
We
work?
need to get here. You need to get from here all, the-
Yeah,
you know
well,
what I
he
mean?
knows that.
Yeah.
I mean,
This
he'll
is,
know
this was
that.
the people that was the problem, was this road, not up here. This is all good.
We'll have to see what this looks like.
Too.
I mean,
Well,
I
you
don't know.
said the problem was here, didn't you, with the road somewhere?
Oh, the problem is all the way through. This road sucks. I can tell you that right now. This road down here is bad too.
Well, there's a lot of potholes in it.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's the best, that's what we can do.
This is coming off of,
Long Branch.
Long Branch.
and Randy, when you done the block work for Tyler,
Right here,
you
right?
up in this holler here.
Okay, it's right there. So this road right here is the one that's,
Yes.
It's really bad.
you know, this here is a gravel road already. Is this county road too?
Nope, we haven't taken any of this yet. None of this has been taken. That's what, when we declared the emergency, we declared it to get in here, to get back here, to get that guy.
Now, let me think his name, the Big Sandy Water, Blanton,
Yeah.
Jimmy Blanton. I called him, and he won't call me back. But now, when you come up the hill, and that water line starts to get exposed, I was gonna tell him, and they said it's gonna cost millions of dollars to dig down through that shell rock to get it deep again. But why don't you just put a 90 in here and bring it straight up this dirt hill mine and tie it in up through the top of the road, and you don't have to worry about this.
Now, the water side, I don't know. That's something they would have to.
That's up to the water company.
We'll get with the surveyor, and we'll come out there and we'll get the road for them. We'll walk this. That work? I want to get a copy of this.
I can follow him out there and get it, let him take a copy.
We'll definitely get a copy of that. But we'll get out there and we'll take a look at it.
Okay, thank you.
See what we can do.
Okay.
Davey, Larry, we'll get together on that. At some point, we'll go take a look at it. All right, community comment.
Hey, my name is Zachary Tackett. I'm with Creek Don't Rise Coalition, based out of Pike County. I just want to come here based off the resolution that I spoke to the judge about today. It's involving the Kentucky Power audit that the PSC has mandated. A little background on who I am. I'm a NICU nurse. I actually took off today because it's that important to me, and I care this deeply about the community here in Boyd County. Because the one thing I've noticed of the 7 counties I've already been to, Eastern Kentucky, we're more alike than we are different. I've got family that's lived here. I care deeply about this area. I care deeply about my home. I care deeply about all of Eastern Kentucky. And for us to move forward, we have to stand together. And this Kentucky Power resolution does not regulate Kentucky Power. It represents the people of Boyd County. And this fiscal court standing up for this, it stands up for 3 things in that resolution, and it's as simple so anyone can understand it. It's that the audit process that they have mandated be completely transparent and public so that we can see where our money is going. It also says that any waste that is found in this audit be returned to ratepayers like me and you. It also says that they pause the rate increase, respectfully ask them to pause the rate increase, so that we can wait and see where our money's going. Now, I know me and Eric, the judge here, had a conversation downstairs, and he says the PSC is the problem, and I think there's many problems that we have with the whole process as it relates to Kentucky Power, and I do agree with him. That's why I want to present this resolution to the PSC, say, hey, we have 14 counties, 14 Eastern Kentucky people, or not people, I guess counties, standing together, and we want to see what's going on behind the scenes, and we want Kentucky Power to prove it. I have family that works for Kentucky Power, just like I'm sure many people in here do. I love my people in Eastern Kentucky, whether you work for Kentucky Power or you don't. I'm not out to try to hurt anyone. I want to help our people, and for Kentucky Power's management, the people up at AEP who put $3 billion in their pockets to prove to us they're not wasting our money. And that's what this resolution is. It's already passed in Pike County. It's already passed in Letcher County. It's already passed in Floyd County. It was just read today in Lawrence County and passed today in Lawrence County. And I expect another pass tonight in McGoffin County with 2 more next week. You all are not alone in this. I strongly encourage the court to read it today. It's simple. Read it today, take it up, and stand up for the people of Boyd County, which we all love and care about. Thank you.
So I don't disagree with anything that you say at all, in any way, shape, or form. And I want to take some time to read this, and I think we all kind of feel that way here. We've had many discussions. I see Suzanne's right there. We've had many discussions on this. and I appreciate the fact that it seems to be more focused at the PSC level, because really that's their job, right? I mean, what you're saying here is what they're supposed to be doing already, right? That's why they're there. They're that extra layer between the people that want to know and the company it's essentially assigned to. And we can come up here. Yeah, I figure we'll have a discussion on
that's what I
this
said.
for sure.
I just want to say one more thing for you guys, so you guys know this too, and I don't know if a lot of people know this. They have reopened the case, portions of the case, because guess what? They didn't get enough money already. Shocker, right? So it is critical that we get these resolutions passed and they're not delayed, and I'll tell you why. Because we have a small window. If they close this case at the PSC level, we lose leverage. So again, it's not something that's very complex. It's a simple resolution that just tells Kentucky Power basically prove it. Prove that you're not wasting our money.
Who reopened the case?
The PSC reopened the case on behalf of the Kentucky Power's request to, I think it's for vegetation, and there's like 3 other things as well too that they're wanting more money for. So they reopened the case. I can't say that if I come back here next month that it won't be closed already. So that's why I tried to send, I know we had some issues probably with technology. I sent this 30 days ago so we could avoid this issue, but I already have courts that have read this resolution. It's that simple that you can read it right now. It takes 3 minutes. It's simple, and you can pass it. Stand with us, stand with the people here in Boyd County, because I'm not certain that we will have that time period the next meeting to be able to present it to the PSC while the case is open.
Right. And I know you did send it 30 days ago. Wish we found it when you called, and it was in the spam folder. So we pulled it out, and so I printed it today and gave it to you. I definitely want to take some time to read through this, talk to the commissioners. You know, I mean, it's very sensitive. Me and you had a conversation downstairs, and I appreciate that conversation. I enjoy those conversations. It's like we've talked about before. You got water companies and sewer, right? I mean, those are government entities, right? And then we've got power company that's not a government entity, but you can't compete there, right? So it is what it is. Kentucky Power's there. And you got the PSC, which is supposed to be the middle ground between the two to make sure that the public has all the information that they need. Transparency at its finest, right? Yes, I've got my own individual, oversight feelings on the PSC, right? I think it needs to be overhauled as well. But I also go back to the comment I made downstairs, which I'm not saying is the best comment to make, but when you look at, I feel like you have a power company and you've got your local government, and I feel like there's a connection there. And what I mean by this is, and I'm not defending Kentucky Power in any regard here, I'm just calling it for how I see it. You got 1 of 2 ways to increase your revenue in local government. I can raise taxes, or I can invest heavily in economic development, right? Yep. And Suzanne, we've had this conversation. We've got Kentucky Power that's got 2 ways that they can raise their revenue, right? They can increase their rates, or they can invest heavily in economic development, which they do. They drastically they invest in economic development.
They invest our money, though, too. That's the part of the issue. It's our money they're investing. They put our money back in there because when they increase rates, you're the ones paying for the investments. When they put $40 million into their bank account, or not their bank account, but their shareholder bank accounts, that's our money.
So tell me how you create competition in the power market.
So you create competition. First of all, you have co-ops that are wonderful options. I mean, there's plenty of different solutions that we can sit up here and talk about, but I don't really want to get into that right now just because we're going to go everywhere with this because it could go many different routes.
Well, no, but we can't steer it in one direction either, right?
No, but what I want to stick with, though, and why this is so important is I understand, too, that Kentucky Power needs to make a profit because if they don't, we don't have power, and that's a bigger issue in itself. I agree completely.
I also agree.
I'm not saying Kentucky Power does not have issues, does not have problems that they face every day. All I'm saying is to prove to us, prove to the public that you're not wasting our money.
Which is a conversation for the PSC.
And that's why I'm going to take this resolution when it's passed here today and present it, because when I have 14 counties representing 160,000 people in Kentucky Power's area, and I take that to the PSC, they take that way more serious than Zach jumping up saying, hey, show me, show me, show me.
The problem is that the PSC shouldn't have to take it serious. It's their job.
I agree.
And when they've already filed for an independent management audit, which is in another layer that they've went above and the PSCs went above and beyond to put this on AEP and to Kentucky Power to do a further study on it. when those results come back, they need to be your results. They need to be
Agreed.
my results. They
Agreed.
need to be available to everybody in here.
And understandable, a way that we can understand it. I read the 225-page agreement that they made for this last rate increase. If you ain't got a law degree, you can't read it.
I get that completely.
And they should. I read it too, and that's what I'm saying. They should make this to where we can understand where our money's going and how it's being spent.
Yeah.
And whether we agree or disagree on this, the PSC probably does need to be overhauled. It probably needs to be changed, and that's fine. But without the support of fiscal courts, I really truthfully believe they're not going to listen to me, which is why I'm doing this.
Which is a shame, right?
And why it is a shame. And I'm not trying to be against
Oh,
Kentucky
we're
Power.
not,
I'm
and
not trying to be against
I
anybody.
want to be crystal clear on that too, real quick. Let me say this. You talked about something downstairs, which is so true. You've got an example of an individual that brings home $1,200 a month, right?
Yep.
It's on fixed income, $1,200.
Yep.
Power bill, $800, $850.
$800.
Okay. Heating with kerosene, I would assume, right? So
It was.
here we are in a situation and a problem, right? Let's back up 30 years. Let's talk about Suzanne. Let's talk about how we got there, right? Let's talk about the 30 years about how we got there.
Yep.
I mean, I've said it a million times in here. It doesn't get any cheaper than burning a rock. We can't burn rocks anymore. For some reason, we're not allowed to do that. It's a big deal, right? But when coal was here, what else did you have?
Yep.
You had the other side of the power company up there.
When we
You
burned
had-
coal, we had affordable energy.
You had affordable energy. It is what it is, and you did.
And
But
that's not Kentucky Power's fault. I'm
That's
not blaming them.
That's the cards that they were dealt.
Exactly.
And that's what I'm getting
Exactly.
at. That's what I'm getting at.
But that does not mean that they cannot be accountable, transparent, and fair with us.
But they are being accountable, transparent, and fair with the PSC, which is the information that the PSC is requesting from them, and the PSC should be able to explain that information to the public.
And if I can take this fiscal court's resolution today to the PSC with 14 others, I hope that I get to come back here and tell you, hey, they listened, Eric. We get to see what's
Right.
going on.
That's right.
And if it gets put off, I don't know if I'll have that opportunity, which is why I'm trying my best today, and that's why I tried diligently to send this on time.
And you did, and to be clear, you did. Right?
And I don't want to come back in 60 days and say, hey, Eric, I appreciate you passing this, but they closed the case, and we got another $1 million, $2 million, $4 million that Kentucky Power is going to get because we had to delay because of this, when it's something as simple as transparency, accountability, and fairness.
So-
That's all I'm asking for.
Here's something good that the state does allow us to do. The state does allow us to have special meetings. So here's what I would like to do. I would like for this court to review this resolution, to have time to go over it, and make sure, because I've got to get with legal on this, make sure we're good on the resolution, the way it's wrote. And I know that other fiscal courts have, but I can't just do what everybody else is doing. I got to do my due diligence as well. Now, we are allowed to have special meetings, and we can do that special meeting over Zoom, and we can have that special meeting at any time. So we do not have to wait till the next regularly scheduled fiscal court meeting to be able to do this.
So just to ask, or make sure we're clear that way, there's not a delay, or can we commit to a special meeting for this resolution, or is this something, because like I said, if we don't have something that we can commit to, then it is going to get delayed again in this.
No, I don't think that's true. I mean, I think the dates are set by me, right? So I need to have time to speak to the commissioners. I need to have time to talk to the county attorney. And I need to have time to be able to go over this. I can set it any day, man. I can set it for tomorrow if I
Well,
want.
I know that, but if you get back and you read it and I don't have something, I can come back and say, hey, Eric, when are we going to do this? When are we going to do this? And it's next month, end of next month, and that's APSC closes the case in 2 more weeks. It's over. It's like, okay, well, I hate that. And I just don't want to see these continually get delayed because of technology issues and other things when it's something as simple. Like, I could really have read this to high school level people who've read it and been like, well, I agree with that. It's pretty simple. There's nothing legally complex about any of this. If you read it, it's as simple can get out. It's about transparency, accountability, fairness. And that's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking the court to do is if you read it right now, I'm sure every person up there, you don't need a law degree. You don't need to be a teacher, educator, or anything else. It's that simple. And that's why it works, is because it's that simple. We just want the PSC to show us behind the scenes, be transparent and honest with us about what's going on so that we can see it for ourselves. And I'm sorry, I'm really not trying to.
Oh, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll put a time frame on it. You got my cell phone number?
Yeah, or actually, no, I don't
You
have
got it.
yours.
It's on that business card. You got my business card?
I don't have your business card
I'll
yet.
get it to you. It's one on that table right back there. Cell phone number's on it. Call me at 6 o'clock this evening. I'll have you an answer. I'll answer the phone at 6 p.m. That'll give me adequate time to talk to these guys, talk to the attorney this afternoon. I'll get you an answer at 6 p.m. You call me. Is that fair?
Yeah, I suppose.
I figure that's a pretty fair timeline, right? And I can get you an answer in less than 5 hours. I think that's, or 5 hours. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, I think so. And like I said, I just hope the answer's not, we'll wait till the next meeting is the only thing I'll say.
You'll have an answer at 6 p.m.
Okay.
I'll get
Thank
you an
you.
answer at 6. You got my word on that, all right? If I don't answer, call back. Yeah, come on.
Well, I do want to talk about Kentucky Power, but before I do that, I want to thank Sheriff Reese over here and you all for the substation being put back in Westwood. That means so much to me and so many of the other people. I know that I've wanted this for the past 6 years, and I actually dug up the article from 6 years ago, and this is what I said at the time. I think we need a permanent substation in Westwood. We would like a place for citizens that they can go in and report problems right then and there. Issues could be dealt with in a very efficient manner. So, like I said, I was sad when it went out of Westwood, and I remember we had a meeting up there with you at that time. Tammy and I did. So I'm just as happy that it's coming back. And any time that we make our community safer, that's what it needs to be. I know that, you know, just like with the abandoned houses coming down or our roads fixed. And yes, I appreciate the road department. I've noticed all of the patches being made, the sidewalks and lights, and that all matters, and that is important. Now, I'm going to talk about Kentucky Power because that's another huge safety issue that people have in Westwood. You all know what Westwood is. You all know. You think that somebody's making $1,200 a month can't afford an $800 electric bill, and then they just added 6.63 more? Well, let me tell you one thing, they can't. They can't do it anymore. People are at their limit. I know because I talked to them. Yes, I think the resolution needs to go through. People are at their limit, and it sounds like you guys are too with your budget. Can your all's budget handle another 6.63 and up on the electric bills?
Oh, we've definitely seen an increase in utility costs, absolutely.
And I don't like that, Eric,
I don't either.
because I like our money. And just like with 557, I emailed every member of the House. I called multiple times and let them know my thoughts on that because I want our local money to stay local.
I wish they had community comment down there.
I do
Because I
too.
would have went and watched you.
Well, I would have been there, but let me tell you something. I did email them and talk to them all because I want our money to stay here so we can work on economic development, so we can get our taxes down, so we can do some things like that.
Agreed.
Yes, and I will talk one thing about the coal. They should have never, ever, ever closed Louisa. And I'm still mad at them about that. And I've told them. I told them I'm still mad at them about that. And they said that they did that because it was supposed to lower cost. Meanwhile, we're up 100% since then, and we have gone twice the rate of normal inflation. People's bills cannot handle this anymore. They're at the breaking point. Okay, there comes a point, it's like the death spiral, that people are moving away because they can't afford the bills anymore. And I heard this all over Eastern Kentucky. I went to every single one of the PSC meetings, and I went to Frankfurt. Okay, so I did all that. People are moving away because they can't afford the bills anymore, but meanwhile, our bills go up because our population goes down, and that's called the death spiral, and that's the thing that has to be stopped. So I support you in what you are doing. The PSC knows my thoughts. Trust me, they've heard from me too, because this is too important. I see you guys working your butts off to have economic development come in here, okay? I see that you've lowered our taxes over the years. I see all the good things that are going on. But when you have an electric company that goes, oh no, I'm going to reach into people's pockets more, I'm going to reach into their pockets more, then that's not good. We have got to see some changes. We've got to stand together. I hope that you will support this resolution. And a few years ago, I did some research to find out who all what the Boyd County judge executives had done over time. And I want to tell you, I was severely disappointed when I saw the only letter that had ever gone to the PSC by a member of the, the judge executive, besides what you did, was a letter from Steve Toller. I think it was in 2018, and he was supporting the rate increase. And I'm like, out of the thousands of letters that I have read, there was one letter in support, and that was from our judge executive. And I will tell you, I was aggravated. I'll put it that way.
Just say it. Just
Sorry
say it.
about that. Sorry about that. But I was aggravated and thought to myself, do you not know your neighbors? Do you not know your friends? Guys, this is about our neighbors. It's about our friends. It's about our businesses. Now, we've got to do better. Now, I asked, when I was here before, of course, I talked to, brought all my research in, talked for a half hour, did all that stuff. And, David, you came to the meeting.
Yep.
You wrote a letter and came to the meeting. But I think it's time that we looked at Kentucky Power and the PSC, and there has been legislation to change the PSC. I will tell you that right now, and that passed, and I'm real excited. Because changes have to happen. They don't have enough money down there. There's only 3 of them, and they really don't have enough money to do everything that they need to do. So when I wrote my senators again, my local senators, I said, if this is going to pass, you also have to provide more funding to them so they can do the good work, the work of the people. Now, whether that went over or not, I don't know. But one of the meetings that I was at, I was so impressed with Senator Brandon Smith. Do you all know him?
Yep.
Do you know Brandon Smith?
Yep.
Okay. He wore Kentucky Power out. I mean, that man was on fire, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I like him. But here's what he told them. Either you do the job or we're going to put you out of business. Either you do the job or we're going to do what it takes to get you out of here. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, I never heard such talk.
But then what do you do?
You get a co-op, or you get somebody else because you don't, because they are legally bound. Kentucky Power is to provide us service at a reasonable rate. Mm-hmm. And if you're going at twice the rate.
But why are we at twice the rate?
Kentucky Power has gone twice the rate.
But why? Why
because
are we
they
at twice
keep
the rate?
on, it has got compounded over time. Like I have all my, like they might got a 15%, or they might got a 10% at this one time. But Eric, that stuff compounds over time. And what I did, I looked from 2010, when it was still reasonable, when we still had our coal plant down there, before they invested in Mitchell, which is falling apart right now, and that we're having to pay. Because right now, and that's the big thing right now, is we're having to pay all so much of the expenses of the Mitchell plant, just like the tower, the cooling tower. We literally are going to have to pay $175 million. This is on top of this rate increase. This is separate from all that. Right. So, yes. Right. So they're expecting us to take money out of here, talking about economic development, and put it up in West Virginia. And I am so sick of that. I am absolutely sick of that. They are draining us. They are building up West Virginia, and I've had enough of it. I truly have.
You know what we need? We need heavy users. That's
what
we need.
We do need.
Imagine what the draw was when the steel mill was open, when you had the coke plant that was running full bore.
I can tell you.
You had all this here. I mean, we can talk about industry all day long. We've had this conversation.
I can tell you what, we have lost Kentucky Power has lost 48% of their sales from 2010 to 2015. Whatever Armco went out, the Coke plan and all that, that's 48%. But
So what's that do though, right?
it makes our rates rise.
Has
which,
to.
So my thing about that is, Judge Cheney, y'all call you Judge Cheney, is that
Call me
time?
Eric.
Eric, we have not
friends.
had the type of investment from the state that we should have. And that's the One East plan. And when 95% of the dollars are going to that side of 75, and we're only getting 5%, I'm not okay with that.
Let me say this one thing. Everybody wants to talk about economic development. Now, just let me say this. Everybody wants to talk about economic development, and I do believe over the past 8 years there's been a huge difference in Boyd County,
I do
right?
too.
Every
I do
single
too.
person in this room and every single person in this county wants the industry. I do too, okay? I want it more than probably anybody. Here's the deal. There isn't an incentive package that this county could offer any industrial site that would be a drop in the bucket in the ocean of what they would need to make the difference to come to Eastern Kentucky. The state has to do that. The state has to get on board with that. Now, if we want power to come down, which we all do, because we're all on the same page there,
Right.
we got to invest in economic development. Now, changing Camp Landing, that's not going to lower the rates. Filling the AK Steel Mill site, the only mega site left in the state of Kentucky, that's going to fix and bring down your rates.
Amen.
These are the projects that we have to be looking at. And we have to have the state involvement to be able to get there. Now, they know it's there. They know it's on the radar. The only way to drop it is users. It's why I'm not opposed to data centers. If structured correctly, it's why I'm not opposed to data centers. Because they are a huge user of electric. And if set up correctly, it will not raise your power bill. It will lower your power bill.
I think there's a...
That is the industry of the future for the time that we're in.
I'm not arguing
No, I'm
that,
not either.
that
I'm just
point
saying,
at all.
I understand why the rate's high.
Okay.
I disagree. I mean, I don't like that the rate's high. I don't like it either. But I don't know what they're supposed to do about it.
I do.
How do they fix it?
We can bring back coal. First of all, if we're going to bring back coal, we have got to have some federal help in here. And Kentucky Power, they just now applied for federal help, and guess what? They didn't get it. And another thing I'm mad about, I'm like, you know how desperate we are. They put in a grant to help that tower get built, and they didn't get a dime for it. Now, I think that they should have, but they didn't. But if we're ever going to get something in here, yes, we're going to have federal help.
You got to have federal and
Now,
state help.
and you know my feelings on East Park and why I wrote a thing to the paper and came in here and spoke for a half hour, maybe even longer than that, a couple of years ago about East Park. I truly believe, Eric, that East Park is the answer to this. I truly believe that economic development is the answer to this. And this is Cynthia Wiseman, when I met with her, it wasn't a real good conversation, but we did agree on one thing, economic development.
And that's what's beautiful about it, because it can get political, but it's mostly not, right?
Right.
And it shouldn't be.
And because we have got to have economic development.
The only way you're going to fix the issues.
And what I say all the time, I've been a teacher for 38 years, and economic development in the home matters. And it matters more than we can ever say. So I do support him. I do think that the management audit should be transparent. And yes, Eric, they hide a lot. I've read all that. I've gone to the PSC. I've asked the PSC to show me what everybody makes down there, the management at Kentucky Power, and they haven't. Kentucky Power protects what Kentucky Power wants to protect. And if they want to be transparent, I think it's time that they got real transparent. I want to know what Cynthia Wiseman makes.
Where does the PSC have that information and won't share it with
They
you?
have it, but they say that they won't let it go because they say it's a competition issue, like between companies. And I'm to the point of, I don't care.
But I think, again, if the PSC knows it, that's a PSC issue. PSC
There's
needs to-
there's laws about that and stuff, but that's, you have to remember, there was just a bill that went through about structural change at the PSC. Now, I supported that. Some of my people that I'm in political circles with did not. But I'm somebody that has gone to the PSC, that reads everything, that's totally immersed in that. So yes, changes need to be made at the PSC so they can better serve us. So I'm happy about the changes. I'm happy to see what's going to happen. But right now, the PSC needs to hear from us. They need to hear from you all. And that really didn't happen for many, many years. But we're at the breaking point now. We're at the tipping point. And we have got to claim the goodness for ourselves. You know, we've got to be on the right side of history with this. And that's, you know, and like he said, I don't have anything about the, you know, nothing bad to say about the Kentucky Power employees, nothing like that. But that management audit, yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I really am. And another thing, before I get off this thing, I asked Kentucky Power and I asked the PSC to put this in the final order, and they did not, but I wish that they would have. I asked Cynthia Wiseman and the people from Kentucky Power to have a broad meeting with all of the judge executives, the fiscal courts, the mayors, the business people, the people from Frankfurt, that's the economic development people, our elected representatives, to have a meeting. And I want Kentucky Power to tell us how much electricity that they need to sell in order to stabilize rates, because there's never been a goal about that. And I want the economic development people from downstate to know that what type of investments that they have to make in eastern Kentucky to help us stabilize rates, because they haven't done their job like they should either. The economic development people from downstate haven't, and I'm not letting them off the hook here. Now, you've done better than a lot of the county judge executives have. I think most. You have.
We try.
No, well, you've done the darn thing. But anyway, I probably have said enough here.
Listen, and it's a great conversation, right? And I always appreciate having a conversation. Same to you. And I think this is fair. You give me till 6 p.m., I'll answer the phone. If I don't, call me again. We'll talk at 6 p.m. I just need time. Just to talk to these guys, right? Just got to talk to everybody, make sure we're all on the same page here, move forward. And then we'll set a special meeting if that's what we choose to do, what we need to do. I understand the concerns fully. I get them, and I share a lot of those concerns with you. I think there's multiple ways to get there. We got to get the information. I think the PSC needs to provide it, and we'll go from there.
And I'm going to say one thing. If you ever get the opportunity to speak to Senator Brandon Smith about this, I hope that you will have a conversation with him. I truly do. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Hey.
I will not be talking about power rates. Now, I wanted to come to the court today to offer a thanks, and it's something you may not even realize the impact that you all support from the jail and the sheriff's office. But sometimes you have folks who get sentenced to do community service instead of fines or jail time, and a lot of times those folks work out at Armco Park and do things around the county. Sometimes there's more folks than necessary, or maybe there's bad weather days. Those are the days that your all's folks, they send them to us to help us out. We just, on Friday, we just received over 21,000 pounds of food, and without the 4 folks that you all sent us that day, that would have made that a lot harder. And so just this year alone, your all's folks have accumulated 1,496 hours of volunteer time with us. And last year, it was 2,667 hours that you all provided us. It's incredible. Now, when they come to us, it's not, I mean, it's great that it's free labor and they work, but a lot of times these folks are coming and they have a lot of barriers that are keeping them from being successful. And so during that time that they're with us, we're able to talk to them about maybe getting better stable housing, or maybe they're homeless and trying to help get them housing, fill out applications. We've had folks that we worked with on the process of doing expungements. We've had folks that were still struggling with addiction, and we've been able to get them into inpatient rehab. We've been able to help folks find NA and AA groups. We've sat down with folks and helped them with resumes, helped them do job searches. And so even though it's a labor program for them to do community service in the community, for that, sending them to us, we appreciate it because it has helped us, but we also appreciate the ability to work with these folks to try to help them better their situation. So thanks to Bill and his folks and Jamie and you all for sending folks to us. It really helps out a whole lot.
Absolutely. Good job, Bill. Thank you, Mike.
Gentlemen, my name's James King, and I think 2.5 years ago, you folks appointed me to the Northeast Kentucky Economic Development Authority Board. Our executive director, as you know, is Hunter Boyd. Last week, Hunter attended a groundbreaking in Ashland. It was a new business, happened to be a tattoo parlor. A particular anonymous Facebook page took him to task over this, which is very unfortunate. They made several disparaging comments about Hunter, even put a meme up on their page, and it was just very unfortunate to see. As you all know, Hunter, he should celebrate every new business that comes to Boyd County. We all should. Doesn't matter if it's a sole proprietor or 100 jobs. Every business should be celebrated. And they took it upon themselves to take a couple of his comments out of context and just disparaged him. As I say, it's very unfortunate. Yeah. As you all know, Hunter works tirelessly for Boyd and Greenup County, as does our authority board. And there are multiple projects, potential projects that he is working on that would bring lots of jobs to the area. And they chose to castigate him over attending one particular groundbreaking. So I just want to commend Hunter. As you all know, Hunter's doing an outstanding job. He's excellent. He's out of town right now, away from his family, attending schooling to better himself in the realm of economic development. And we think he's doing an outstanding job. And I just want to publicly commend him for all that he's done. And I also want to personally thank Commissioner Holbrook. Commissioner Holbrook took them on this anonymous Facebook page and tried to defend Hunter. I texted Jeremy after I read it and said, you're fighting a losing battle. You cannot argue with these people. And they took Commissioner Holbrook's words and twisted them around and tried to turn them into something else. But again, I commend you for standing up for Hunter, and that's why I want to publicly do the same here. So I just want to commend Hunter and thank you all for allowing him to do the job and tell you he's doing an outstanding job.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Hunter sent me that. He sent me that meme or that Chat GPT or AI, whatever photo that was made of him, and
I think the longer you
somebody
sit in
sent it
the
back,
seat-
put a top hat on it, and it was actually pretty comical. And he laughed too. I mean, you have to look at it and kind of smile, right? Because it is upsetting. And just real quick, I'll let you talk. Because I know how hard he works. I know how hard we all work. And it's the small wins. What did I say? And nobody probably remembers, but 8 years ago we told you we're going to focus on quality of life because it's what we can control. We want the smokestacks just as much as everybody else, but we can't get them without state help. So instead of whale hunting all the time, we're going to fish for bluegill, and we're going to take every single one of them we can get. And I hate fishing. Whatever it is. But look, it don't matter if it's a tattoo parlor or a new restaurant or anything at Camp Landing. It's all successful and moving in the right direction. So I appreciate Hunter, all that he does. And yes, it is. It's disheartening to see that, but I told him, I said, hey, at least it's on you, not on me. It's all good. So no, he's a good man, does a good job, and we are moving forward. So we'll keep right on moving. He'll be all right. He got broad shoulders.
Well, anytime you sit in a public position, you know, everybody's going to take pot shots at you.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, been in it long enough to see that happen. You know, Hunter and I have been, I couldn't tell you how many times we've shown property throughout the county. Multiple times. Matter of fact, I showed it last week. Had 2 people interested in some pieces of property. I think that it's going to be coming to Boyd County probably within the year. So I think everything, you know, he does is a positive. for Boyd County and for Greenup County. You know, that's the reason why we share that, you know, that economic development, you know, bond between us. So, you know, they talk about how much money you made and stuff like that, and it's split between two counties. It's not, you know, 100% us or 100% Greenup County. So, you know, sometimes they need the facts before you go to the pen, I guess, so to speak.
Absolutely. All right, anybody else, community comment? All right, I gotta find the agenda, lost it. Let's see. New business, commissioners, you have anything?
I don't have anything.
One thing I had was just what I just said, you know, about, you know, showing the piece of property. I think we've got two investors that are very interested in the property over off of 180. I've also met with another individual, which, were you with me on that one? Where the J&J property is. It's actually in Ashland, but just like I said, if it's economic development, it helps us all. And he's going to do something with the J&J property, and then also he bought the property on 180 across from the Shell station where they took that hillside down, and you'll see that probably in the next year or two. So very positive things that are going in that direction. Hopefully we'll see some results from it.
Agreed. Anybody else?
I do. I got a couple of things. I want to brag. I like to brag on the great things that are happening, especially when it's our students and our kids. Congratulations to Tate Caesar. He's a young man that goes to Ponderosa Elementary School. Finished the archery, NASP archery tournament, finished first in the state. So one of our Boyd County kids, he dominated, man. He shot 283 out of a possible 300. He was phenomenal.
Wow, that's awesome.
But our local teams were great, too. Grays Branch and Greenup County finished third place in the state. Raceland Elementary finished 8th. Ponderosa 25th and Canonsburg 34th. Our middle school from Boyd County finished 6th in the state. Incredible. It's great. Also, this Friday, we want to wish good luck to all the local students who are representing Boyd County in our local schools as they go to Rupp Arena for the STLP state championship. So they are representing us with that student leadership technology program. And finally, one of my favorite emails I saw this week, on May the 1st, our Boyd County Technical School, they're having a signing day. You've seen the really cool newspaper and social media where kids are signing to go to take their athletic career to the next level with college and university. They're doing it with their technical students, so that they've been sharpening their skills and their trades, and so they're signing with an employer. We celebrate that.
That's awesome.
College and career, academic and beyond. Our kids are doing something. You know, you see us talk a lot about paving roads. We talk about that a lot. But we also focus on paving roads for the future, and it has nothing to do with concrete or blacktop. It's the roads for the next generation, and our kids are doing incredible things. So if you have a chance to celebrate those students on May the 1st, check it out. Let's make sure we show up and we let them know that we are so thankful that they are calling this place home, and that they have a future for us too.
I agree. Good stuff right there. Mr. Stapleton, got anything?
I don't have anything bad.
All right. Next meeting will be May 19th, depending on how my 6 p.m. phone call goes. We get a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
I think everybody's in favor. Thank you all very much.